This PowerPoint teaches how to calculate the value of information systems, and in particular, estimating the relative value of VistA for the Veterans Administration. One may ask, why evaluate the value of IT? First and foremost, an organization needs to look if IT is the best investment for an organization in terms of return on investment. In other words, can the money be used better for something else? Additionally, there have been a widespread failure of information technology projects. United States firms wasted $130 million on unwanted IT expenditures in 2002, including Gateway losing $140 million and Kmart losing $130 million. Since the failure is so widespread, individual managers are not responsible. The process of evaluating IT is to blame, which we will talk about later. Let's look at the IT of VistA. VistA stands for Veterans Health Information Systems and Technology Architecture. It was introduced in 1996, which was based off of the decentralized hospital computer programs during the 1980s. VistA's main job is to tie together workstations and personal computers with graphical user interfaces at Veteran Health Administration. VistA impacts many people. The VA has 7.8 million enrollees, both veterans and their families, over 278,000 employees at 153 medical centers. So obviously, this system is important to many people, and determining whether this system is important is valuable. The information used in this presentation was based off of two sources: the United States Department of Veteran Affairs website, as well as Professor Alemi's Business Value of IT. As mentioned earlier, it is imperative to look at the method of evaluating ITs like VistA. Based on Professor Alemi's Business Value of IT, there are 4 steps in evaluating IT. First, a business must gather data over at least 3 periods. This could be every 3 months or every year or so. When gathering information, they must look at money spent on IT, the use of IT by the business unit, and the business unit's revenue. Second, a business needs to examine association between IT cost, use, and revenue. Thirdly, a business examines causation. There are generally 2 theories. The first, revenue leads to IT use and investment. Second, IT use and investment leads to revenue. And finally, one needs to calculate the return on investment. This was the information given for VistAs from the Department of Veterans Affairs. So the first condition is met of gathering data for at least 3 periods, looking at IT investment, use, and cost per patient. We must now look at associations between the different variables. This graph looks at the association between IT budget and use of VistA. This graph depicts a strong relationship between investment and use of VistA. This graph illustrates the relationship between cost per patient and the use of VistA. This graph depicts a weak relationship between cost per patient and use of VistA. The graph on the top displays a strong relationship between investment and cost per patient. We then focus on the correlations of the different variables, which can be seen in the table. Using the correlations, we can then look at causality. The table shows that reduction in cost per patient is the driving force behind increase in investment and use of IT, with a value of -0.12, which is closer to 0 when plugging in the corresponding correlations into the given formula than the other theory. However, looking at this data, there is no clear return on investment. There is a limitation in that of time intervals. VistA is just one example in evaluating IT, and we need to continue to look how we evaluate IT in the future.